watched A Quiet Place day one, and I was expecting, just your regular survival alien thriller movie, and I didn't exactly get that. They subverted my expectations there, but not exactly in a good way. This movie wasn't as fun as I was anticipating. It was more confusing and frustrating and made me think, like, why did they do that? Why did they not just do this?
Why?
I don't know, it was a confusing story for me, which is really weird, because all the promo stuff, all the promotion that they did for this, all the trailers, all the marketing and stuff, they really made it seem like it was just going to be, a very simple, straightforward alien survival story with,
some personal growth for our hero.
But it didn't really have much of that. It didn't really have any of that, actually, at all. I kind of just want to talk about this movie and just talk about a few changes that they could have and should have done to make this a more compelling and cohesive story. And if you haven't seen this already and you don't want any spoilers, then go on, get out of here. They're gonna be spoilers, so you've been warned. So just a little recap of this movie. We are introduced to our main character, I actually don't remember her name, but we're introduced to her and we find that she is terminally ill and she expects to die basically any day now. This nurse guy who works at the hospice center that she is at. So they know each other. He cares for her both medically and also personally. He wants to be friends with her and she's kind of, really cold because she's dying. So that's the dynamic between these two. He convinces her that she should go with all the other patients there to go watch a play in town, and she says that she'll only go if they get pizza afterwards. So they go into town and they are at this play. And then when they're in town, that's when the aliens come. The aliens come, big mess, lots of loud noises, lots of people running around screaming, lots of dust everywhere. This scene was actually really cool. I thought it was really interesting to see all the dust, and it was really difficult to see in front of the character and really put in the perspective of her, and discombobulating and confusing. And I thought the scene was interesting. And then at the end of the scene, our main character gets knocked out. So she goes unconscious, and the next day she wakes up and people have already figured out how to survive, and they just kind of show her how. So main character doesn't really need to figure it out. People just tell her. So they're at the theater, staying quiet, laying low, trying to survive. She tells her nurse friend that she wants to go get this pizza, and he's like, no. But then she's like, I'm gonna. And he's like, okay. And then loud noise. He goes to turn the loud noise off so the aliens don't come. He dies. He's just dead. So I hope you didn't really care about that character and want to learn more about him and see more of his friendship with her, because he's dead now. What? And then she decides that she still wants to go get pizza, so she does that. She goes to get the pizza, and that is basically the rest of the story. And then halfway through, we get this random British guy who finds her, and she tells him about the lifeboats, but he doesn't want to go to the lifeboats. He instead really wants to come with her to go get pizza. Don't really know why. I don't think he really knows why. She doesn't know why. She wants him to leave. She's really annoyed with him and is like, dude, leave me alone. But he's like, I have to come with you. And so he does. And then they go get pizza. And then at the end, he makes it back to the lifeboats and she commits suicide. Didn't see that one coming, did ya? Neither did I. That was so weird. I did not appreciate that ending. She just lets music play really loudly, and then an alien drops down, and then they cut away, and it's clear that it's gonna go kill her. So that's the movie. There you have it, folks. The character motivations didn't make sense. The character arcs were non-existent, and I don't really know what the message of the story was. I don't really know what the point was. She wanted pizza, she got pizza. He wanted to go with her, he went with her. And then he somehow made it back to lifeboats in time. The end. So that's the story. I just wanted to real quick go over a couple of the things that I think they should have done differently to make this a more compelling story. Number one, do not kill off the nurse guy. Why did they do that? Why did they set up this friendship between them? And there was tension there because, again, she was really bitter and she got angry at him and she was like, you're only my friend because you're paid to be here. So they had a friendship, but then it was, she didn't really believe it was a real friendship. Not sure she actually believed that, but she said it. It was clear that he still cared about her, though, and it would have made sense for him to want to follow her to make sure that she got her dying wish to get that pizza. It didn't make sense for Joseph Quinn to come in and all of a sudden be like, no, I'm gonna come with you. That didn't make any sense. They should have kept the nurse guy. And the story there could have been that she has come to terms with the fact that she's gonna die, and so she wants to just go get this pizza before she dies. And she tells her nurse friend this, and he insists that she comes with him to the lifeboats. She refuses, and he can see that nothing is going to change her mind. She's going to go get that pizza, and he wants to make sure that she is safe and that she makes it there safely. So he, being a really caring, kind friend, is going to go with her to make sure that she survives and that she gets there safely. And so, along the way, their friendship develops. She comes to realize that he really does care about her, and she learns to care about him as well. And after they eventually get there and get the pizza, she, in turn, will sacrifice herself to save him. After he helps her get what she wants, she at this point could be too weak to make it back to the lifeboats, or she knows that she's not going to survive and doesn't want to go back to the lifeboats. And so she, after they get the pizza, alerts him of that. And she's like, I'm not going to go. And he could be like, no, you have to. And I think what they could have done here was have her sacrifice herself to help him get back to the lifeboats. They could do something like, the aliens are coming around. There's no escape. The only way to do it is to distract them. And so she, after finally getting her dying wish, after seeing that how much he sacrificed to help her get that, in turn, performs a major sacrifice to help him as well. And so she distracts the aliens, he's able to make it to the lifeboats, and she dies, saving him. I feel like that would have been a really compelling story, seeing these two friends help each other in these different ways. And in the end, he survives, she gets her dying wish, and she is able to die the way that she wanted, I guess, sacrificing herself to save him. I feel like that would have been a much better, compelling story. But instead, they just randomly killed him at the very beginning of the movie, and then halfway through brought in this British guy who just really wanted to come with her for some reason. What? I feel like what happened seems like they had cast this guy to be the nurse, to be her friend, and then they got a call from Joseph Quinn, the guy from Stranger Things, and he was like, hey, I want to be in this movie, make me be in this movie. And they were like, oh my gosh, it's Joseph Quinn, he's a big actor, we gotta get him in here. But they had already filmed some scenes with the nurse guy, so they were like, what are we gonna do? We don't want to waste all that film, all that money. So they just decided, you know what, we'll kill him, and then halfway through we'll introduce Joseph Quinn. And then we'll just use all the marketing and all the promo with his name in it. And he'll be the new male protagonist. That's what it felt like. It just felt like they randomly decided, we gotta get this guy in here, let's shoehorn him in halfway through, and that's what they did. That's what it felt like. Why would they have the nurse guy if they were just gonna kill him? Why would they settle that friendship if they're just gonna kill him off and bring a random guy? Okay. Anyway, another couple things that they could have done to make this a more compelling story was have this girl, she wants to go get pizza. She's gonna go do it. She's going against all these other people that are going to the lifeboats. She runs into those two kids. They set this up. She runs into two kids in the movie, and then instead of realizing that she needs to help protect them and help them get to the lifeboats, she just sends them off on their way. She's just like, go, follow the people. Good luck, children. And that's the last we see of them. She just sent them away. What they could have done there, what I would have wanted them to have done, is have her realize that her desires to go get pizza are not more important than protecting these children. Well, children that need her protection and need her help. They could have had that kind of story where she needs to put off her own desires to help these children. And that would have been a really cool character arc for her as well. She could have learned and grown from that and learn to, value her life and value the lives of other people as well. Because that was a big problem for this character. She did not seem to care about other people. It was horrible. She endangered her friend's life and other people's life for a stupid cat. That really drove me crazy. So that would have been a good character arc for her as well, as learning to value her life and the lives of others and learning to put off what she wanted to protect these kids. She just sends them on their way, just bye, get out of here, kids, you really don't matter. I don't understand why they brought that in if they were just gonna get rid of them right away. Another thing that I wish they had changed was how she died. She almost died in one of the ways that I thought would have been better for the story. I thought either she should, slip away from her illness, become so weak that she, eventually passes away after getting her dying wish. I thought that was gonna happen. That didn't happen. And so the second thing which I thought they should have done, which was she will sacrifice herself to save somebody else. I mean, they almost did it. She started making these loud noises to distract the aliens so that Joseph Quinn could make it to the lifeboats. And then Joseph Quinn made another noise, and then they went back to chasing him. And then she just watches it happen. Why didn't she yell? I thought she was gonna yell. I thought she was gonna distract them once again. But instead, she just watches it happen, and he makes it, thankfully. And then she walks through the city, plays her music, and the alien drops down and is gonna go kill her. And that was just a horrible way to end it, in my opinion. I hated that ending. That was awful. They should have changed how she died. They should have either made it a sacrifice, a noble sacrifice on her end, or a peaceful death. Either one of those, but her just killing herself was not the way to do it. Okay, and a couple of smaller things that I really didn't like about this movie were just how dumb the people were in this. They really wanted to just up the ante somehow, make it more chaotic, so they made people do stupid things. This is on day 2 or day 3, everybody's just yelling their heads off. And it's at this point, everybody knows to be quiet. They had some random lady in the middle of the street yelling Jonathan, and then, she gets killed. Why was she doing that? She knew to be quiet. Why is she yelling? And then some other guy, our main character, is hiding underneath the car, trying to stay safe, And then another guy crawls over, grabs her leg, starts yelling, help me, help me. And then he dies too. That didn't make any sense either. Why were all of these characters, just random extras, just yelling when they knew it was going to get them killed? All they wanted to do, the creators here, was just up the ante, make things more chaotic. And the way they did that was just have people be stupid. And another thing that I really wanted from this movie was to see more of the military's perspective of this. I really wanted to see what they did when these aliens came, how it was from their perspective. And we saw a little bit of that with like the helicopters that were flying through and the lifeboats and things like that. But I wanted to see more. I actually wanted to see it from their perspective because we didn't get to see that. We didn't know what they were doing this whole time. So I really wanted to see that. And I also really wanted to learn more about the aliens. I wanted to learn more about like, you know, how they operated, why they were there, and just kind of learn more about them. The only thing we got was that one scene where Joseph Quinn is climbing up this metal arc thing to save the cat, and we see that aliens are eating some weird alien food. That's like all we got. And I wanted more of that, and I didn't get any. So that was kind of lame. Another thing is they needed to get rid of that cat. I cannot believe how many times these people endangered their own lives and the lives of other people just for this cat. The main character did not care that she was endangering her friend's life at the beginning because she wanted to save the cat. It was awful. That guy totally deserved to die when he was climbing up to get the cat as all these aliens were climbing around him. That was so frustrating. Get rid of the cat. It didn't add anything to the story. It really just detracted a lot of things for me. Credit where credit is due. They did a couple of cool scenes here. I really liked seeing like the aliens, hearing them like rush towards the helicopters whenever they flew by. And I really liked that one scene where all this dust was everywhere and we couldn't really see anything. We just saw like objects here and there. I thought that was interesting. So they did a couple of cool things, but overall this movie and the characters were not inspiring and it wasn't compelling, and I don't really know what they were trying to say. I don't think they knew what they were trying to say. None of it mattered.
Who's this ray of sunshine?
Anyway, that's it for now. Bye.